Hey guys, Alex M975 here today, bringing you back another video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why the Wii U is the most misunderstood console of all time. Now, I do understand that a lot of people have been making videos on this, and it is starting to become a known topic, because a lot of people actually didn't have a Wii U compared to other consoles like the Wii and all, where basically everyone on the planet had one. The Wii U was a lot less common to have, but I did have a Wii U, and I always loved it. I actually probably as a kid played with it more than I did with the Wii, because I grew up when the Wii U came out and it was my first console, whereas the Wii was passed down to me. So I think the Wii U, I've always thought it was underrated, and only now there's been a resurgence, especially with the Nintendo Switch starting to struggle a lot. Now, I do understand that the Nintendo Switch has just released Mario Bros. Wonder, and they're starting to release new games, but recently the Nintendo Switch had been kind of failing, and the Wii U, some of its previous games had been kind of the success of the Nintendo Switch. So people were starting to say that the Wii U was actually better, and I grew up during the Wii U and 3DS era, so I love those, and it's probably a very big bias on my part, but I don't care. I'm going to be talking about today why I love it so much and why it is just so misunderstood, because this console, one thing people seem to not understand is this wasn't wasted potential. Well, although it definitely was wasted potential, it wasn't completely. As in, if you got the console now, it's not like it's crap, but you can see that there was stuff there. It is a good console, just downright is. And yeah, I'm going to talk about that now. So I'm going to get on to the first thing that I'm going to be talking about. The first thing I wanted to talk about is games. Now, as I said previously, Nintendo Switch has kind of made Wii U games successful, even though they haven't changed it really at all. I know with Mario 3D World is probably the best one, and I know they added that Bowser's Fury DLC, which I've never played, but I've heard is absolutely insane, and I've looked at videos and it does look really, really good. But Mario 3D World itself is a great game, and it always was, and Nintendo Switch didn't actually add anything to it, to the actual game, just ported the controls, and that's one game out of a few. There's also Splatoon, which I don't think they convert Splatoon over to the Nintendo Switch, but they just made a sequel, which was definitely more successful, and New Super Mario Bros. U, which was very successful on the Switch, because it's not that people didn't want to play Mario Bros, it's that people didn't have the Wii U, and the reason people didn't have the Wii U is because they didn't realize that it was a new console, and people didn't feel the need for it. It also didn't help that the Xbox and PlayStation for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One had just come out, and they were much better than the Wii U with their game selection. Even though what I'm talking about right now is their games, they don't have a lot of games. Now the Wii U, because it was out for a lot less than the Wii, it obviously doesn't have as big a games category, but even for the amount of time, which is around 5 years, that it was out, it doesn't have a huge game selection. Also, another big game that I forgot to mention is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which a lot of people, including myself, did not know that was originally on the Wii U, and I never played Legends of Zelda, but everyone used to talk about Breath of the Wild when it just came out to the Switch, so that's another fact. And another thing with games that I have to talk about now, I will be talking about this later on, but a game that a lot of people haven't heard of, but when I was doing research, because I got a Wii U only in the last 6 months, and that's because I've always wanted to get it again, and yeah, it definitely holds up. Weird thing is though, the games I used to play as a kid, like Mario 3D World, I less play, and games like Nintendo Land, which is the game I want to talk about, if you Google about it, they'll all recommend to get Nintendo Land, but I don't think Nintendo Land is that popular. A lot of people haven't talked about it, but Nintendo Land is really, really good. It really is. And there's other games there as well that the Wii U has. They have Wii U Party and all, which all of those just seem to kind of go under the radar, but they're still really good games and show, Nintendo Land really shows the playability of the controller, but I'll be talking about that in a later topic. But yeah, I just want to say that the Wii U has some really stellar games, but I feel Nintendo did not invest enough into the games category, but I feel like it was already too late by then. The console had already failed. They had put out a lot of games. Now, their opening games definitely didn't help what they released straight away, but they put out games. They didn't go successful, but they obviously took a lot of time and effort to make, and no one was getting them. So Nintendo just decided to just kind of leave it. And to be fair, it was probably the right decision, even though they were making really good games. And at the start of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo seemed to be doing the same thing as well, where they were making really good games like Mario Odyssey, but then just kind of let it just go by. Like even Mario Maker, another one that they made a sequel for because they thought it'd do successful on Nintendo Switch. They've kind of just stopped creating, and I know now with their remake of Mario RPG and their Super Mario Bros. Wonder, it's all changed. But if I had made this video 2 months ago, it would have been completely different. And just because they released 2 brand new games that are looking like they're brilliant, does not mean that the console, they've been lazy. I don't know how long the Switch has been out for, but it's definitely been out for over 5 years. And the Switch has barely released any original stellar games. I'd say in the top 10 Nintendo Switch games, about 4 of them have at least somewhat to do with the Wii U. Either it's a direct port of it, or it is just a sequel to the game, which is basically the same game, just basically showing it to the people who were on the Switch. So basically just a carbon copy. So yeah, that's the first topic I want to talk about. The second topic I wanted to talk about, and I just wanted to get this out of the way, is advertising. And I think everyone knows this. This is like the most common knowledge with the Wii U. If you look anywhere about the Wii U, advertising seems to be the Wii U's biggest problem and seems to be the death of the Wii U. And I don't have a full knowledge on this, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I know everyone has talked about it, but I do obviously have to mention it. It's a given with the Wii U. The Wii U's advertising was absolutely terrible. Their first opening thing, their opening intro, was just like, it looked like it was just an extension to the Wii, like a new controller or something. They kept calling it the new controller. They were never calling it a console itself, which was just terrible. And then obviously, I'm sure everyone on the planet has seen the cringy advertising videos that they made. You can search them up if you haven't. They're very cringy, and also showed that they were only directing to a child audience, and a very young one at that point, because even when I watched that when I was like 12, I already knew it was cringy. And like they were kind of directing it for 10 and under, which the Wii's whole big success, its major success, was everyone from any age could play it, families and all that. And now they were specifically directing it to kids, which even the Wii U doesn't actually do itself. It just directs it as for kids in the advertising. So yeah, the Wii U's advertising was just terrible. And their opening game was New Super Mario Bros. U, which I think if they had introduced the console like it had been packaged in Nintendo Land, or if they had packaged in Mario 3D World, but I know that game was made a bit after the console was made, but they needed to have a plan. A New Super Mario Bros. Game that was spot on, and New Super Mario Bros. U was the 4th in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, and by then everyone was already done with it. They were already done with it the one before, so this one definitely didn't help. So yeah, I loved the Wii U's games, and I never saw the advertising. My parents just got it for me for Christmas, but I loved Mario Bros. U and all that, and I didn't have a care in the world for that. But I'm sure if I was older, like at this age, and I'd never had the Wii U before, I think I would have been way more skeptical about it. But because I had the Wii U before, I knew it was a great console. The third topic I wanted to talk about is playability, and this one I'm going to be getting into negatives and positives, because there is some really major positives, but there's one glaring negative that I just want to get out of the way first. So the negative is that the Wii U's gamepad was not really the best choice for its sequel. Not even the bad advertising, like you couldn't tell, but the gamepad itself, and I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, even though people say it could have done good if they'd utilized it in most of their games, whereas they only did it in a few games. There's not much games you can really implement the gamepad into. Not even just Mario games, which is a staple of Nintendo and you have to bring games with that, but also just in general, the gamepad is very hard to implement because not much games need a gamepad, which is kind of a glaring obvious. And when someone presented that, obviously, in a Nintendo board, they should have just wrote it off because it was a terrible idea. The Nintendo Switch, in my opinion, isn't a great idea, even though it is cool how they combined the DS and the Wii kind of to make the Nintendo Switch. I don't think it's a great idea, but it did work, and it was definitely a better idea than the gamepad. So that's just what I want to talk about with the negative. The positives are that the gamepad, I never, as a kid, like the gamepad never, because I never had a game that the gamepad really was involved in. I completely forgot the new Super Mario Bros. U, if you use the gamepad, you could place blocks, which basically means there's a fifth player, but no one wants to do that. No one ever does that. The blocks thing was just like, and it just was weird. It was just like they made a port to on the Switch and it wasn't there, but no one cared because like it didn't do anything. But the gamepad where it did work was with Nintendo Land, as I was talking about earlier. Nintendo Land it's a really good game, and in nearly every game the gamepad is implemented. Sometimes the gamepad's just like the more powerful player, or the player that's got like Chaser, or and the Chaser one. There's one, I forget what it's Animal Crossing on the Wii, on the Nintendo Land, and it was very cool how you use like two control, like the gamepad is the Chaser with the gamepad, and it was cool how you could see the gamepad, like you could see the map and all. And that's one game I haven't played, but Pikmin 4, I think it was, whatever it was, they have the gamepad in that, and apparently the map really is good on that. Now that's just from a video I watched, but basically the gamepad can work, but the gamepad feels like it should be just an extension. It would probably be one of the most like sought after like extra controllers or something if it was like that, but because it was the whole baseline, the whole Wii U selling point, it really doesn't work because it doesn't live up to it, because most games don't use it, and the games that do, it does work and it's really cool, but it only works in a very few games. But the games that it does work on, don't get me wrong, they're very cool and bring you back to the Wii days of the original immersive experience. Right, so that's all for today's video. I know it was short, but that's because I only usually do 3 topics, and there is much more I have to talk about the Wii U. But that is kind of the baseline, big, major points that I did want to talk about. But if this video obviously does well enough, I will definitely make a more in-depth analysis that's more edited and more worked on if I see that there's people want to watch that. But I still enjoy making all these commentary videos, and it doesn't matter whatever views they get, it won't affect it, because I know this is only the second commentary video, technically like the 4th, but it's really the second one because I've went on like a 6-month break trying other things for the old commentary videos. Now I finally set it down, and I know it's been 3 weeks since I uploaded that first commentary video, and that commentary video actually did reasonably well with 100 views, which I was really happy with because that is a new topic. And I kind of made a weird move by going on my main channel, Alex975, and doubling down and changing that topic to commentary. Now, I don't know if that'll be forever, but I am making a video on Alex975 today about commentary, and that is a big move for that channel because it's making Minecraft tutorials, but the Minecraft tutorials were dying down. Now, that doesn't mean, because the Minecraft videos do die down, but that's happened before and it's just come back up. And it probably would, but my channel's in a kind of stalemate where it can never kind of go over that views. Like, it's top views it ever gets. It's kind of like that's the peak. It's not really got anywhere over it. It's a small market, and I knew that going into it, and I just kind of winged it. But now I kind of want to enter a bigger market with commentary videos. And if commentary videos, right now on my main channel, Alex975, views on the channel are really suffering. Once I get a few commentary videos out, hopefully they'll start generating altogether. Now, hopefully there is a big market in commentary. That is basically what I'm waiting for on Alex975. I will definitely go back to Minecraft tutorials if there's only like every video 100 views. On this channel, no matter what, I'm making commentary videos. I really enjoy making them, and I think that's obvious, and that's why I want to change topic as well. And on this channel, I finally got a niche that I'm into, that I really think has a good market in it for this channel. But for my main channel, I need a big market because I'm obviously on like 6.5k subscribers. I don't know, but whatever, it's a big enough channel, and I need to have a decently big market in it. And if commentary videos do have a market in it, I'll obviously continue with it. Now, I'm obviously going with small topics at the moment, But yeah, I'll probably give it a month on the main channel, and if it does well, keep it up. If it doesn't, I'll just go back. It's an experimental period for the channel. This channel, I'm excited to keep uploading. I want to start getting this channel with good few uploads, because it'll be so good to see my last 10 videos have all been the same topic, because I hate seeing messy channels. Like my channel, like this channel has like tons of videos that are all different topics, that have all different ideas, but if I can get a few videos out with the same idea, it'll just look so much better, and this channel can start generating. And obviously, if it's working well on my main channel, it should go hand in hand and work well on this channel, but I don't know, we'll have to see. But I'm really excited to see what happens, and I'm hoping for good in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.